Hi YouTube, my name is Caroline Joy. I am a certified Pilates instructor and doctor of physical therapy. I will be guiding you through a standing upper body and core workout today. I have 2-pound wrist weights already on my wrists, as well as optional free weights in front. These can range anywhere from 3 to 8 pounds, depending on what you're used to working with. Let's get right into the workout. Starting in standing with feet about hip width apart, you're going to raise your arms up in front with the palms facing down. Start to assume a hip hinge position, soft bend in the knees, hinging the hips back behind you, sticking out your butt without overarching through your back. Start to push the palms down behind you as if you're pushing through quicksand, and then lift them right back up to that 90 degrees angle, pushing down, lifting back up, cores pulled up and in as you push down with all your might, and lift back up, pushing down to lift, down, to lift, picking up the pace, down, lift, down, to lift, down, lift, down, 2 more, lift, down, lift, stand up tall. Next is our forward spine stretch here, but in standing. We're going to inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale to reach forward with a flat back here. So lengthening through energy through the fingertips. I'm at a 90-degree angle at my hips now. Falling all the way down, allowing a curve in the spine forward. Starting to roll up as you inhale again, 1 vertebrae at a time. And exhale at the top. Inhale, grow tall. Reach out in front. Exhale to reach forward, lengthening through the spine. It's starting to roll up, re-inhale. And then exhale at the top. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, reach. Inhale. Exhale at the top. Good. Picking up the pace here, reaching up and forward. All the way up into standing. Flat back forward. Rolling through the spine to stand back up. 2 more. Reaching forward. Really utilizing this warm up to roll through your entire spine. And stand up nice and tall. Bring elbows out to the side. Hands behind where your head meets your neck. We're going to transition into our standing crisscrosses. So traditionally, our crisscross on our back involves twisting and lifting one knee to the side. We're going to utilize that same motion, except we're going to assume that same slight bend in the knees. Small hip hinge, cores pulled up and in. First, practice that twist, really rotating with that abdominal support. So we're not dumping into that lumbar spine, but rather using our obliques to twist side to side. Next, we're going to add in that hip motion towards the side we're moving. So I'm twisting to the right, lifting up the right knee. Curling even closer, lining up that elbow over to the left. Lining up that elbow with the knee. Twisting right. This is definitely challenging that balance, your core control. All good things. Twisting right to left. This is that moment where we realize we're not in the warm-up anymore. Twisting left to right, picking up the pace, left and right, left to right, left and right, pulling the core up and in for your last set. Here, stand up and nice and tall. We're going to transition into our saw next. Traditionally, saw also utilizes that nice rotation, but with straight arms. As we transition right to left, we're going to bring the arms up and over before we twist. Overhead to the left, overhead to the right. Good. Assuming that same slight bend in the knees. We're going to leave out the hip hinge here, so staying almost in a mini squat position. Arms overhead, reaching out and twist. Traditionally through saw, we come into that T position before we twist. So hold on to that as you go overhead, out to a T and twist. Overhead to your T, but twist left. Overhead, T to right. Overhead, using that abdominal strength as you twist. Kicking on those obliques after we just did 2 rotation focuses. Overhead, 2 twist. Overhead, feeling that rotation through both shoulders. 1 more each side, left. 2 right, I lied, 1 more left. Good, come up into standing. We're going to transition into some versions of our side kick series, but we're focusing more on the arms here. We're going to start with a leg out to the side, parallel. So this is very similar to our side lifts and lowers in Pilates, but the leg's going to stay there. Arms are what's going to be moving out into the side. I'm going to get a slight bend in the standing leg. Arms stay out to the side and in, side and in, but lift up that leg with each side repetition. There we go. Good. Out and in, out and in. This is called abduction, more specifically horizontal abduction of the arms, using those rhomboid muscles, backs of the triceps. Good. Getting nice toning efforts throughout the whole back and arms. We're going to do 3 more here with the right leg out. 2 and 1. Good. So if you're just getting the hang of that one, the great part is we've got the other side. Getting the left leg out to the side. Same idea. Every time the left leg lifts up, arms go out to the side. Starting with arms in front. Palms are facing each other, by the way. Starting with arms forward, lifting up and down. My standing leg has a slight bend. My core is working so hard to keep my balance. And in, out, and in, out, and in, out, and in. 2 more. I lied. 3 more. 2 and 1. Good. Shake it out. That one's a tough one. Get a sip of water if you need. We're going to transition into our back kicks next. Starting and standing. One leg's going to come behind. Let's start with the right leg. Very similar to our side lift, except now we're doing hip extension behind with a straight leg. So better view of that. Leg comes behind, lifts up towards the ceiling, and controls back down. What's happening with our arms? They're moving from straight out in front to flexion. So opposite directions, but they're both lifting up closer to the ceiling. Lifting up, back down. Very similar to our hundreds where we warmed up. This warm-up feels a little harder now. And up to lower. Now that we've got everything warmed up and down, up and down. Good, we've got 4 more on this side. Energy through those fingertips as you reach out. I've got pointing through the toes happening. You can have a relaxed foot if that serves you better. Switch to the other side. Left leg's behind. Arms start out reaching in front. Every time we hover up that back leg, arms are going to come up right with it. Lifting up to lower. Up. Lower core should be kicking on to help your balance. Pulling up and in. Got 5 more on this side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Shake it out. Next, we're going to transition into an overhead press with a mini squat. This is where I take the optional use of a weight. This is up to you. I like this exercise a lot because it's super functional for things we need to do all throughout our days. We're going to start with arms out to the side, setting the shoulders down and back. Every time you deepen into your mini squat, you're going to push the arms up and release back down. I screwed that up. Every time you bend down, you're going to straighten up and push overhead. So mini squat, lengthen through the legs, push up through the arms. Arms come down. Bend, straighten, push, and back down. Good. And up, back down. Pushing through the feet to lengthen through the spine, push up, lower down. I like to challenge this exercise even more with that control, slow motion as you lower the arms. Pushing through the feet, pushing up to lower. Bending, to push, 2 more, bend, to push, and bend, to push. Good. Shake it out, place the weights down. We have 2 more exercises here, everyone. If you're starting to feel the burn, great. So in our standing pose at the end of the normal mat series, we'll get our heels raised up and hold a balance here. We're going to utilize that pose here, but in more of a forced arch position. So what does that look like? Raising up on the heels, slight bend in the knees. And this is really challenging our balance and our forefoot. Core needs to be engaged. And that's not all. We're adding an arm movement. So find that forced arch position. Arms come out to the side. Start clockwise circles with the arms out. Palm is facing down. Clockwise circles are happening. We've got 3 more. If the legs are shaking, tune into that core to try to offload them. They're still shaking, that's okay. Reverse your circle. We're going counterclockwise. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. And stop. Lower the heels down, shake out the legs. 1 more exercise left. Optional use to grab onto your weights. We're going to do a squat hold with rows behind us with our arms. So this is very similar to a chair pose in yoga. We're going to lower the hips down, slight forward bend with the spine. Not so much like our hip hinge, but still an in between that and a squat. Arms are going to come slightly out in front to set you up for a row. So let gravity take control every time the arms lower down, but not so much so that you let limp, right? Gravity is going to allow the arms to come out in front. Elbows are going to start to drive back behind you and then control as you lower back down. Course pulled up and in. Your spine is straight here. Drawing the elbows back to lengthen. Back to lengthen. Feeling those rhomboids, the muscles between your shoulder blades working. As well as those triceps again. Core should be working. Elbows back to lengthen. 3 more to go. 2 and 1. Stand up straight. You guys are all set with that upper body workout. I hope it was a good challenge. This is one of my favorite workouts to go to whenever I'm looking to challenge both my core, my balance, and my arms. Have a great rest of your day.